Hello, this is Julie. Today we had a question about how to use open path lines in Make the Cut. Now I'm using Make the Cut 4.6.2, which is the most recent version of Make the Cut to date. You can find out your version by going to Help, About Make the Cut, and you see this is 4.6.2. If you have a version that's older than version 4, you may not have the node editing toolbar on the left side of the screen. But if you see this figure 8 in the upper left corner, then you do have node editing. Click on that and the node editing toolbar will open. Now the question had to do with having a square on the screen. If you type in SQ, you can see the squares and your basic shapes. I'll just add one, and I will just make it any old size. I'll turn this to green matte so you can see through it. Now, if we want to put a rectangle in it as well, I'm going to use Control-Shift-Click, and I'm just going to change this to a rectangle inside of the square. And the question was how to get rid of one of those lines. So I'm going to type S to, well, I'll type V to align it horizontally, and I'll type B to align them at the bottom so that this rectangle is aligned to the bottom of the square. Now what I want to do is get rid of this top line right here so this can fold out. To do that, I'll click on the second arrow on the left toolbar. This is a node editing toolbar. Click on that top line that I don't want and hit my delete key, and it's now gone, and now I have two open path lines. An open path line is a line that doesn't connect to anything. Now the line at the bottom I don't really need either. If I want to get rid of that, I can click on it and delete it, because now there's going to be a line cut here and a line cut here with no line at the top. It will work the way that we want it to work. But if I would like to add a fold line or a score line right here, I can add a layer by clicking on the larger of the two green plus icons at the bottom. I can maybe send these to another layer by clicking on the smaller of the two green plus icons, and I'll hide them. And now I can draw a line, left click at where I want the line to start, and right click where I want it to end. That's Bezier Draw. That actually drew it on the layer that I had selected, which I really didn't want to do, so I'm going to click it, delete it, and this time hide that layer and then go to a different layer to do my drawing that way. And the reason that I hide the one is so that it won't connect to the lines that I want to have cut. I'm going to change this line to a score line by clicking on the color icon on the layer and clicking line style and moving this bottom slider over a little bit to space out my lines. You can make the dashes as long as you want and the spacing between them as long as you want. So now I have a score line here, and I'm going to open the cut lines here, select both the cut line and the box and join them so that those lines are all joined. Now if I don't like the position of this score line, I can tap it up a little bit to put it exactly where I want it to be at the top of these open path lines. So you see that the score line is an open path line. It is open at both ends, and so are the cut lines. Now the other question she wanted to do was just draw a couple cut lines to slide ribbons through. To do that, I'll just add another layer. I could actually, I'll just use this layer, that's the cutting. And let's say I wanted to run ribbon here about a 1/2 inch. Left click where you want the line to start, and right click where you want it to end. And I can do the same thing over here. Left click where I want it to start, right click where I want it to end. It actually is easier to do this if you have snapping on. Let's say I wanted to snap at 1/2 inch. I'll remove these and show you that it's much easier with snapping on, because it doesn't matter if you have shaky hands, it automatically goes to the 1/2 inch. Now I can, if I want to hide that, again, that score line, I can select all these and join, so that now all the cut pieces are here, and then I have a score line where it would fold if I wanted this to fold out like a stand. I hope that answers the question about using open path lines and make the cut. This toolbar is a very handy toolbar for a lot of reasons. Thanks for watching. Bye.